because it's the right one, it's the right decision for our people, the right one for our brave service members who risk their lives serving our nation, and it's the right one for America. Thank you. May God protect our troops, our diplomats, all brave Americans serving in harm's way.
Reporters shouting questions to President Biden at the White House. He's not taking them. He's turning and exiting the East Room of the White House. What President did do in that address was offer a vigorous defense of U.S. actions, of his actions. He said, our only vital national security mission in Afghanistan was going after people who attacked the U.S. on 9/11. It was counterterrorism. He said he is adamant that the need now is to focus on threats the nation faces today. He did lay blame squarely on Afghanistan's leaders. He talked about President Ghani and said, Ghani said Afghan fighters would fight. Obviously, he was wrong. He said, if anything, developments of the past week reinforce that he made the right decision, he Biden. And he said American troops should not be fighting and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves. A few highlights there from President Biden's first public remarks since the Taliban retook control of Afghanistan. This is live special coverage from NPR News. Let's continue now with our analysis. I'm Mary Louise Kelly in Washington.
And I'm Elsa Chang in Los Angeles. All right, to talk about what we just heard from the president, we're joined now by several NPR correspondents. We have Franco Ordonez, NPR White House correspondent, Mara Liasson, NPR National Political Correspondent, Greg Myrie, National Security Correspondent, Jackie Northam, International Affairs Correspondent, and Michelle Kalaman, Diplomatic Correspondent. Hello to all of you. I just want to start with Franco Ordonez. Franco, we just heard President Biden make the case over and over again in this address about his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan, his decision to not pass this responsibility onto a fifth president. But to what extent did you hear any admission from the president of missteps when it came to how the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan in recent weeks and months?
Elsa, not much. I mean, I was really struck by how forceful he was, how much he owned this. I mean, he did acknowledge that the Taliban moved faster than expected. He did acknowledge that there were difficult images, and he recognized the pain that many people are feeling watching those images, especially the veterans who fought in Afghanistan, and thinking about mentioning the sacrifices they made. But he was very clear. And he said there is never a good time to withdraw. And he said he stood squarely behind his decision. He was very declarative and said to his core that he believed that it was wrong to send U.S. forces to a war when the country itself would not fight them. And he said,
if I may just stay with you for this question, what did you make of just in the last couple days of the outward-facing efforts of the White House in managing this crisis? I mean, it's notable that this is the first time we've heard from the president since events have rapidly escalated over the past few days.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, he was really holed up at Camp David, hidden, protected from reporters' questions as well as cameras. As all of this was unfolding, as all of these attacks that Mara and others were talking about, of how horrible these images were coming across, it really seemed like a mistake, and it really led me, at least, to really wonder what he was going to come out and say today. And as I said, I was very struck that there was very little acknowledgement of any mistakes. He did not, though, address as much the execution and whether there could have been a better plan to execute the pull-out without more chaos. He did say that he did not want to create a worse situation, that the
coming 400 northbound and past north of Falkirk Marina, southbound is worse than the northbound drive through Sandy Springs. Looking at about 15 minutes through Marietta, 75 north of Windy Hill up to Barrett Parkway, all around Duxbury, curve on 575 north. Troublesome traffic, WSB.
Breaking news from the WSB 24-hour news desk.
And 424 from the News Center in Atlanta, back from the White House, and we'll take you now to the Georgia state capitol. Governor Kemp began his remarks as President President Biden was speaking. So what we're going to do is play the governor's opening statement from the beginning. He and Dr. Toomey, who we have not seen unveiled in public for a while, they're taking questions. So if they're still taking questions, once you hear the governor's actual announcement, we'll take you there. But this is Governor Kemp, about 5 minutes worth, as recorded about 20 minutes ago.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me first of all thank you for being with us.
You can see the roller coaster.
Honored to be joined by our First Lady Marty Kemp today.
It's in the kind of in the fog back there.
Dr. Toomey, and Department of Community Health Commissioner Kaylee Noggles also with us today. Let me just start with a few things here. First of all, I want to continue to encourage unvaccinated Georgians to talk to their medical professionals or those that they trust and consider doing so. This safe, effective vaccine will reduce the likelihood you will get infected with COVID-19, but more importantly, it drastically will reduce the chances of you ending up in a hospital bed or losing your life. In fact, during my call with the Metro Atlanta Hospital CEOs last week, they reiterated on the call that well over 90% of all Georgians currently hospitalized with COVID-19 are unvaccinated. That's why I've written again to the FDA to encourage them to grant full approval to the vaccines in order to address hesitancy among many Georgians who haven't gotten their first shot yet. 168 million Americans have already been fully vaccinated, and thankfully our numbers continue to rise here in Georgia. But one of the things that we continue to hear from those who haven't been vaccinated is the EUA status of the vaccines. I'm hoping that the FDA will act soon and we can continue the great efforts that state, local, and nonprofit and private sector leaders have made to get more shots in arms. As I've mentioned last week, I held another routine call with CEOs from the Metro Atlanta area where they provided a status update on their ongoing efforts to fight COVID-19, but also care for other pressing healthcare needs of the people in their communities. I'll also add that my office has been in contact with many of the rural hospital leadership teams over the weekend and yesterday or prior to the weekend, the end of last week, and also today through communities throughout our state. Virtually every hospital's most pressing issue is a lack of qualified staff to treat the patients coming through their doors. Nurses, respiratory therapists, ICU personnel, just to name a few. Through October of this year, the state, coordinated through the Department of Community Health, has already committed $500 million to provide 1,300 staff on an ongoing basis to 68 hospitals across our state. To expand those efforts, I'm announcing today that Commissioner Noggle and her team will increase the total number of state-supported hospital staff from 1,300 to 2,800, more than doubling our staffing assistance to date. This would amount to an additional $125 million of investment in state-supported staffing of hospital systems in both metro and rural areas through the first week of December. Specifically, 170 of these new staff will go directly to rural hospitals. Commissioner Noggle and her team will have also identified 450 beds in 9 regional coordinating hospitals that will soon be available to treat patients statewide thanks to this additional staff. As we move forward,
Girl
the
guy.
team and I will continue to monitor the situation in our hospitals to ensure that Georgians who need access to care can receive it.
Drive forward.
Also, to encourage more state employees to get vaccinated today, I'm also announcing that state offices will be closed Friday, September 3rd, in advance of Labor Day weekend. I'm asking all state employees.
How you doing?
How can I help you?
You have any barrels here?
On before Friday, September the 3rd. For those of you that have been vaccinated or got their shot before September 3rd, please take this day off as a thank you
Barrels.
to
Naghahanap ng barrels si Papa Jim.
protect yourselves and protect others from you during this pandemic, and enjoy this time with your friends and family. We certainly are appreciative of all that our state employees have done over the last year and a half, going on 2 years now, working through a
Hello guys! Good afternoon, Atlanta, Georgia. Andito kami sa ano lugar ito? Ewan ko. Naghanap ng barrel si Jim. Kaya nag-live ako. Umuulan dito. Maulang hapon. Wala naman nanunood sa aking live stream. Maingay ang balita. Magandang hapon, Pilipinas. Magandang umaga na pala dyan sa Pilipinas. What? No barrels?
Yes.
No barrels, baby?
No, they're in the storage container. This guy. I'm like, you have any barrels? Oh, let's see.
Oh, that's barrels. What do you want to do with that?
I'm gonna clean the filters, the air filters in there.
Oh. So guys, wala namang nanonood. Tatapusin ko na ang aking live video. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Mariacris Vlog in the USA. Ayan, walang nanonood. Try out lang po ako paano mag-live stream dito sa aking iPhone. Ayan, wala namang nanonood, so wala akong viewers. Mega love shout out Philippines. Madaling araw sa Pilipinas, 4 AM and 4 PM here in the afternoon sa USA. Umuulang hapon dito. Wala kaming work today. Walang work si Papa Jim. Walang work sa shop, kaya nag-road trip kami. May pababol si Mama. Si Papa Jim nandun sa labas, umuulan, wala siyang payong. Ayaw magpayong ni Papa Jim. Ayan. Wala akong viewers. Nasaan kayo mga viewers? Tulog ba kayo? Magandang umaga, Pilipinas! Naghahanap ng barrel si Papa Jim. Barrel, yung malaking tank ano? Barrel, ayun no, doon nakalagay yun. Ay, hindi kita. Diyan. Ayan o. Ano to ng ano, truck na malaki. Tapusin ko na ang aking live stream, mga kaamiga. Walang nanonood sa aking live stream. Sa susunod na lang uli ako mag-live. Tinry out ko lang ang aking live stream. Mega love shout out sa lahat. Yes, Family International. At ang aking mga kaamiga sa Hong Kong. Mega love shout out kay Pastora Carol Mother. Mega love shout out kay Madam Lynn Alcala, The Boys TV, and kay Crasilda Dacumos Tucayo, at kay Ma'am Chrissy, at kay Ice Mallet, at kay Mama Fe. Mega love shout out to The Boys. Si The Boys Channel. Mega love shout out din kay Kuya Jose. Ayan, walang nanonood sa akin. But then, mega love shout out sa inyong lahat. Mariacris vlog is not busy today. Kaya nakapag-vlog muna konti. Ayan. Umuulan dito sa USA ngayon. May bagyo yata. Kagabi umulan din konti. Nakakatamad na hapon. Ayan, si Papa Jim may kausap na cowboy. Ayan. You get the barrel?
Got the barrel.
How much?
30.
Oh, 30. What you will put?
I'm gonna clean the filters in there. You'll see.
Filters.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, I just checked that. Finally got the information. I got the OE number. I sent you the OE number.
Okay.
It's 2880588.